to sense all the information, and it can capture all the image, and it can goes up to about 2,000 to 3,000 high, and stay there for almost 1 hour to capture all different type of image, especially just after each typhoon event happened in Taiwan. So this kind of information provide a lot of this kind of like change detection, and also any places after each event. If there are any places has been invaded or the riverbanks been changes, it's possible to collect all the information and to capture all the image for different sites just by mosaic and everything. So, but all the process has to be done in a specific time period, because most often whenever there's something happen, the government or the rescue team, they need this kind of very detailed information as soon as possible. So if anything happened like this morning, then we'll be able to get all the image in the afternoon and provide all the information in the night. So the next day, all the troops and every manager will be able to receive all this kind of information. So this kind of information provides very mobile facilities and information to all this kind of disaster management. So it's a very good facility to provide this kind of information to whomever is needed, and also to different kind of disaster agents in Taiwan. In Taiwan, different agent is responsible for different territory of the land. One of the agent is in charge of the flatland, one is in charge of the sloplands, and the other one is in charge of the riverbanks and also the mountainside area. So all those agencies has to exchange different kind of information, from air photo, from satellite image, from any kind of design, and all the information has to be embedded into the same kind of platform. Doesn't matter which one it is used or whomever is used for what kind of platform. So in Taiwan, like this is 2 years ago, when a very serious typhoon event happened in the southern Taiwan. It created lots of kind of damages even for casualty and houses, and a lot of bridges and roads has been destroyed. So these are one of the examples in Taiwan, and also this is the reason, and this is why the government in Taiwan has to face each year, because this kind of natural hazard does happen every year, like the earthquake, like the typhoon event. So in Taiwan, besides of the urban area, in recent years, the government spent a lot of energy and also the money in this kind of disaster management interoperability to enable each different governmental agent to exchange those data simultaneously in the computer or before the process. For example, this is one of the disaster area 2 years ago during after the typhoon Morak. There's a very huge landslide. We say that this is the Xiaolingcun. So the entire village, all the people are still buried down in this lowland. So the entire mountain, there's a very serious landslide. There are very serious landslide. The entire mountain is, we say, it's a deep soil depth landslide event in Taiwan. So there are 472 village people still buried down on those kind of gravel, soil, sand, and after this typhoon event. So this is the entire environmental information we'll be able to collect. Some information we'll be able to collect before the event, and some is after the event. So, which make it very easy to process or to record all the information. This is also one of the sensor type in one of the watershed reservoir area near the Taipei city. So it provides the real-time water quality and water quantity information. You can pick up any sensors collecting sites and get all the information directly. And you can make a graph or make a chart or directly from the tables. So you can simultaneously provide all the real-time information just by different kind of sensors to different governmental agents. And this is also some kind of facility for the Water Resources Bureau in Taiwan. So in Taiwan, there's basin-wide monitoring network proposal being proposed in Taiwan. We try to propose to build up entire river basin monitoring system using the on-site station, the mobile one, the portable unit, the UAV, satellite image, everything. And all the information can transmit it through satellite communication to whomever or wherever or whenever is needed. So you can go to the cell phone, you can go to the website. All the information will be automatically real-time collected. And also all the information will be automatically triggered any kind of warning system, like the different kind of sensor alert. But still, when we face about the real society, this is what happens still in Taiwan. It's really hard to have different kind of governmental agent. For example, the Forest Bureau in charge of any mountain area, mountain territory, exit the 1,000 meters high. And Soil and Water Conservation Bureau in charge of the slowland. Water Resources Agency in charge of the riverbanks and the river itself. Central Geological Survey in charge of the landslide area. Those are four different type of governmental agents. All the agent director, the general director of all those agents, they never talk to each other. I think it's true in anywhere in the world. So it's hard to have them talk to each other and share information. So what we propose is a kind of information sharing, information exchange by the international standard, because the disaster does not matter where the territory is. So in Taiwan, we try to propose standards. We call that interoperability. So interoperability in Taiwan now is a major task. It's a very difficult task now for anyone in Taiwan who is regarding about the GIS things. So we propose the kind of information we'll be able to share between the different governmental agents. But the different governmental agents, they use different type of the database. Some use the SQL Server, some use the Oracle, some use the DB, some use ArcGIS, some use even the Google, some use the MacGuy or GeoMedia or whatever. There are lots of different kind of platform. But we try to propose, it doesn't matter who or what kind of platform you use, as long as you follow the kind of international standard, you publish in the WMS, WFS, you publish on the web service, you publish on the service-oriented architecture. As long as you have this kind of information generator, you create a standard SOS, SPS, SAS, that's followed about the international standard, then you'll be able to share the information between the different governmental agents in Taiwan. So we have very succeeded in connecting or this kind of information directory interoperability in several of the governmental agents now in Taiwan. For example, this is some of the information from Soil and Water Conservation Bureau. So if it's a kind of standard, so everything is followed by the GML source code, and you can publish about the SOS, SPS, SAS. So each different kind of governmental agent will be able to share the different information. For example, I can just go to the Google Earth, it's free. But I can query different kind of governmental information, whomever is published under this kind of standard, this kind of interoperability. So I'll be able to share the different information by different governmental agents. Like the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau, they publish about the debris flow area, which is in risk, using a different kind of color. They use red color, they use yellow color, they use green color, represent different degree of the sensitivity. And the Weather Bureau And also Water Resource Bureau, like Weather Bureau, announce the different kind of the weather satellite image. So each agent responsible to publish their own data set, their own information, the special information, and does not matter what kind of platform you use. You can query all this kind of information very easily. You can query all this kind of information very easily. So this is one of the giant steps in Taiwan now. So we even involved in some of the United Nations project, such as the GEO project now. For example, this is one of the GEO project we did. Whenever needs to go from this side to this side, and when the precipitation is only 50 millimeter or up to 150 millimeter by the Weather Bureau, and the traffic condition is by the Traffic Bureau. So this platform has only the routing algorithm. So it has to go through here. But the Traffic Bureau sends out information saying there is some kind of traffic block. So the routing system itself from these agents, it does not have any kind of other information. It automatically will reroute because of the simultaneous receive some information from here. And also because of the flood condition being published by Water Resource Bureau to up to 450 millimeter now. So these are the flood areas. So it's impossible to go this side. So the reroute automatically will be able to show to this agent. From here, you can only reach to this site. If you try to in Taiwan now, work inside of the different governmental agents and also work together with different international organizations, even in the United Nations. So the share for the geospatial among various agents has involved to service composing, like service-oriented architecture and cloud computing, and also the kind of Open Geospatial Consortium, this international organization, is published all the standards about interoperability. So sharing toward interoperability is one of the very important tasks in Taiwan and also in every part of the world. I think I finished my talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this very interesting presentation. We have time for a brief remark or question. Anybody? No? Well, I have one.
Sure.
You mentioned that the agencies don't talk to each other.
The general director.
The general directors, yeah. But on one slide you had a kind of, what was it, the emergency response center?
Yes.
So
they have to.
How does that work?
They have to. It's from the political requirement. So the emergency response center in Taiwan is organized under the High Supreme Minister for the governmental sectors. So the Prime Minister. So he is the person in charge of all the office, and there are several different kind of agents involved. And in Taiwan, every agent is required to send their information as long as, for example, like the Surface Water Conservation Bureau, they're in charge of all the slopelands. So if any part of slopelands has threat under the kind of debris flow, they have to send out a pre-warning system to this system. So the Prime Minister will be able to decide if the entire like the troops or military or even for the army has to go to the site and doing some preparation or even for the rescue things. So they use this kind of platform to talk to each other now, because in previously all different kind of agents, they have different type of platform. They use different data, they use different GIS system. But now they will be able to share with each other. It doesn't matter what kind of platform you use, you can share information.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we move on to our second speaker, Professor Zhou Jiming.